Okay, and we are live with We Mean Business. It's Anthony from Enlightened Business Solutions here today with our fourth episode of We Mean Business, a talk show for small business owners. We'll be speaking with small business owners from across the country and providing some valuable information. There's some feedback in the line, so I'm getting lost in what I'm about to say, but we're expecting people to join in and comment and ask questions. I'd like to make it clear that I'm not a journalist. We don't have any agenda. We're not affiliated with any political party or any religious group. All our shows will be live streamed to Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. No editing and no censoring. It's all raw and uncensored. If there's anything you'd like to know, send your comments through. With everything on at the moment, we're doing a small segment on COVID-19 to help businesses make it through this tough time. And we'll be hearing stories from business owners and how they're coping, some helpful tips and tricks, learning from mistakes and also their successes, so that the community might be able to come out of this a bit stronger than before. So today, it's my awesome pleasure to have and introduce Jenny Godfrey from Concept Designs and Marketing on the northern beaches of Sydney. Welcome, Jenny. How are you?
Hi, Anthony. Hi, everyone. Going well, thank you.
Great to have you here, Jenny. I mean, we work together a lot and we work together quite well. So it's great to have you on board. I think you've got some good information to share with us. Just out of curiosity, are you getting feedback on your side too, Jenny?
No, it's all clear my side.
Okay, we'll keep going. Tell us more about what you do, Jenny, and tell us about your business.
Thanks, Anthony. Thanks for having me today. I'm looking forward to being able to share a little bit with you and everyone else on the other end of the line. So I started my business back in 2001 when my twin boys were 18 months old, built my first website back then. So I now run a full service design and marketing agency, which really in the last, I would say 9 years has really kicked off as the kids sort of grew up a bit. And that gave me the opportunity to sort of sink my teeth into my business a little bit more. But no, I've been running been in digital marketing since 2001. Looks like Anthony might have actually frozen. I don't know if everyone else can hear me, but I might. Are you there, Anthony? You there, Anthony? Can you hear me? Okay, well, I don't know. Can everyone hear me? Give me the thumbs up if you can.
I can hear you, sorry.
That's okay.
I've been video bombed by my son, so hold on a second.
All good. All good.
Can you get a view? Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, so that's a bit about my business. Concept Designs and Marketing.
Hold on a second. Can we just take a pause and we'll come back? How's this going? Are we back now?
This is part of working from home, right?
No, this is the COVID situation. Yeah, there's environmental sounds of and the situation. Yeah, for sure. So
I kicked my daughter out of her study area so I could have somewhere to go.
Yeah. Let's pick this up. So what do you make of the current COVID-19 situation and how your business has changed?
Well, I actually have an office here in Sydney since the beginning of last year, and also on the Gold Coast. So one of the things that's really changed for me is I'm not allowed in Queensland at the moment. So all of my businesses are coming online. Meetings are coming online through Zoom. So that's been a bit of a change because I do enjoy that face-to-face contact with people and my business owners. So business owners that I work with. So that's been a real change, but it's fine. Like I think everybody's had to make that transition. It's not just me that's had to do that. So that's certainly one area that my business has changed.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And as I mentioned before, I think what you do is great, and it's always required, for business at all times. And I think you might have mentioned, and it's a real compliment to what we do as well. It's kind of the yin to the yang of what we do. Having marketing without a customer relationship management, or vice versa, is kind of like having a boat without water. You can look at it, it looks really nice, but you're not really going to enjoy it very much. And vice versa, if you've got the marketing without the boat, then you're probably going to drown. In the flood that comes through. So a question I'm asking a lot of business owners on the show is, if you knew this was coming, what would you have done differently in your business, I guess, and what would you encourage your business owners, your clients, to do from a marketing perspective?
I think one of the key things is to never underestimate the value of building relationships, building a community around your business.
I guess.
And word of mouth marketing is always going to be the most effective form of marketing.
One of the key things.
And so, I can hear some feedback there. Word of mouth marketing is always going to be one of the most effective forms of marketing. So never underestimate the value of building relationships with people in your business, around your business. I mean, we'll travel 20 minutes to get a coffee at our favorite cafe because we want to make sure that they're going to be there at the end of all this. So, it's about building that loyalty with your customers as well, because as I said, word of mouth marketing is always going to be the most effective form of marketing. So really work on that. Build relationships with people. And one of the key things I think I would encourage business owners to do would be to really critically look at their online presence. Some businesses nowadays don't even have a website. They're not online ready for moments of what's happened lately. So I would certainly encourage them to do that. If it is really important for businesses to be found by Google, then I would say there's no time like the present to make sure that you're starting to see some of those results. It's going to take 3-4 months to build that trust flow with Google. So don't hold off. If it is important for you to be found on Google, then spend that time, that money, that energy to actually really build up your business in terms of your presence online and on Google. And one of the key things that I would say to business owners is fundamentals to marketing, whether we're going through a pandemic or not, don't change. Like, fundamentals remain the same. Anthony, do you mind if I just go through a couple of things that I prepared a little earlier with everyone? Is that okay? Okay. So something I just prepared a little earlier. Let me move this over here. This is one of the things that I love to go through with business owners, because one of the key questions I think a lot of business owners actually ask of them, I guess really don't understand is who their target market is. And that is one of the key fundamental questions to anything in terms of your business. But one of the other things that you've got to identify for yourself before then is your why. Why are you doing your business? Why do you do what it is that you do? Not what do you think other people think you should be doing is in terms of why, but why fundamentally do you do what you do? So this is just one little diagram that I love to go through with business owners just to help them think through fundamentally what they need to be doing in their business, or thinking through what they need to be doing in their business. So I have developed a bit of a 3-step process: clarity, confidence, and conversion. So pardon my writing. That says clarity. Clarity, confidence, and conversions. Oh, you can see that pretty okay. So if you don't have clarity in your business, you haven't thought through that why, don't know who your target market is, you leave people feeling, I might just grab another colour here, you leave people feeling confused. You leave people feeling confused. If you don't have confidence in your business and you don't know those, you don't know what's coming one day from the next, you leave people feeling that there's no trust building, okay? Remember, it's really important nowadays to be building trust with business owners. And obviously, if you don't have any conversions, you don't have any new business, which is kind of a bit hard to keep your business going if you don't have those items in place. Okay, if you don't have any conversions coming, you have no business. So one of the key things in terms of clarity, and I might grab another colour here just for sake of making it nice and colourful. As I said, fundamentally, you need to know your why in your business, but apart from that, you need to know who your target market is. Who's your ideal client? Really give some thought to that and work out who your target market is. You need to actually review. What are you actually doing? What are you doing in your business? What is working? What isn't working? Where are the opportunities for you? And the third thing that I wanted to mention is you need to know what your key marketing messages are. My writing's getting messier, so I hope you can read that. Know what your key marketing messages are. In terms of building confidence with your customers, you've got to plan, because planning helps you to be proactive in your marketing. You need to know what the key marketing avenues are that you want to, pursue, marketing avenues that work best for you, your business and your industry. So what are those marketing avenues? Like, social media, SEO, Google Ads, what works best for your business? And the third thing is KPIs. If you are not the business owner, building, a BDM or whatever for the business, then you need to know what your boss's KPIs are. What do they expect to actually, what outcomes are they expecting? And as a business owner, what outcomes are you expecting? Moving on to conversions. Once you've identified that, you've got to implement. If you're not implementing some of your marketing strategies into your business, then you're not going to work towards getting any conversions. The second thing is engagement. You need to engage your customers. I don't know if you can see that, but that says engage. And the third thing is to always, always, always track and measure what's happening, what's working, what's happening in the industry. So track and measure. So once you've actually got all these things together, okie dokie. So if you get clarity and confidence together, that's when you're going to start to see some momentum in your business. There we go. And then if you start to get, I'm going to do this one first. If you clarity and conversions together, that's when you start to actually see some focus. Focus in your business when you get these two together. When you see confidence and conversions, that's when you start to see some results. Okay, you start to see the results. You get all of these three things together, and that's where you're going to see the growth in your business. Okay, now the reality is, Anthony, this doesn't change whether there's a pandemic or not. Okay, it's a great exercise for business owners to go through to really think through who is their target market and why. Has that been helpful? I think you're there. I can't see you, but I think you're there.
Yeah, look, that was really good. There's a little bit of a delay on our side, so that'll be good. All right. So are there some other exciting things that you'd like to let people know about? I know that in the past you've talked about augmented reality and some other exciting things that you're doing there. So what can you tell us, and how might they be employed?
Okay, so what I might do, can I go through a couple of case studies of some clients and what's actually happened with them during this time, and how I like the word that that George used yesterday, and it was adapt rather than pivot, adapt. And so one of the couple of case studies. So one client in particular, he sells commercial kitchens, does project kitchens and so forth for restaurants and cafes. So as you can imagine, pretty much overnight, his business sort of closed. And so for him, it was really about working out how do we redirect, or how do we create a new strategy for him and adapt and actually broaden his marketing footprint. So we looked broader than just cafes and restaurants, and started looking at aged care facilities, started looking at a bit deeper at some government institutions. They all need kitchens, right? Also looking at school canteens, school tuck shops, all that sort of stuff. And we ended up implementing then for him a LinkedIn campaign, where we started looking specifically at that and really just introducing him through LinkedIn to those particular industries, people in those industries, business owners, and he's starting to see, those connections coming through LinkedIn. Obviously, we're still early on in that, but it's about building that database that he didn't have otherwise. Another client, if you can imagine the construction industry, things are a little bit hard at the moment in terms of show homes being open, in terms of, specifically show homes being open and being able to meet with consultants from large building construction industry, construction businesses. So one of the key things that we've been working on for quite some time that's really great for the construction industry is, if you have a show home and you are not able to open your doors for that, then perhaps consider setting up an augmented reality app, which is what we've done for one of our clients, where we take their floor plans, we put them into augmented reality. We've developed their app for them, and people can go and walk around the floor plans in their backyard if they can't leave their home. Perhaps you've purchased a block of land and you want to be able to see or get that feeling of what's it like to walk in your block of land with the floor plan that you've chosen, or maybe one that you're tossing up between a few floor plans. So you can go out to your block of land and actually walk through physically on walk through holding your tablet or your phone, and get that sense of your home, what it could actually be like. So that's some great, technology really that's available to the construction industry to really adapt and look at ways that they can start to get those key messages out. Developers, for example, as well. But really, augmented reality can work in any industry.
Just wait for this delay.
I can hear that, yeah.
Okay, that's great. So what would you say to business owners then who are looking to improve their online presence? Because we know with everything else going on that everyone's online now as well. And so online presence is a very big thing. There's a lot of businesses that were, traditional bricks and mortar businesses that have had to transition online. And I think no matter what product or service you're trying to sell, online presence is a big thing now.
It is.
What's your ideas there?
Well, obviously, you've got to critically look at your website. If you don't have one, you really need to get a website. If you do have one that's a little bit outdated, honestly, things change so quickly in the industry. A website could be updated easily every couple of years, every few years, okay? Not only from a content point of view, but also from a design and a marketing point of view. The things that we expect as the end user looking at a website changes. Our key phrases, they change. The way that we search things online, that all changes quite frequently. So definitely critically look at your website, have somebody look through it and just see, is it reaching your are the key messages in there? Think a little bit about this. Are those key messages in there? Does your website actually or is your website targeted to your ideal client? You need to know that first, and absolutely get some of those key messages on there about the why you do your business. What is it? What drives you to do your business? Okay, fundamentally at the core of who you are. So make sure your website communicates some of that sort of stuff. So definitely take a good look at your website. During these times, and let's be honest, at all times, communication is key. So I would say content marketing, make sure that you are communicating, creating content in some way, shape or form. If that content is even just through email marketing, perhaps it is online, perhaps it is videos, whatever way that you want to be able to communicate, you need to be able to have content that's going out to people and continue that communication. More so nowadays, I think people need to hear from you than otherwise, okay? And the third thing I would suggest is, if you're wanting to look seriously at your online presence, perhaps consider doing a competitor analysis. That's one key thing, I think, just to be able to gauge where you are in your industry, and just to, I guess, really understand where you sit. The competitor analysis we run looks at how does Google see you, and how does Google see your competitors as well. So I think that could be really helpful. So during, like, Anthony, I'm happy for people to send me a message through Facebook, or send you a message and pass it on or whatever. But I'd love to be able to do website audit for the first, let's say, first 10 businesses that send their website through to be able to be audited. That's free. That won't cost anything, but it might be a great opportunity to start looking critically at your website. So I'd love to be able to offer that. The other thing in terms of content marketing, I've developed or set up a content marketing, what's the word I'm looking for? Like really a strategy. So I've got so many ideas on different types of content that you could be creating for your business. So I'd love to make that available to business owners. So perhaps, as I said, just send me a message if you think a content marketing schedule or content marketing calendar would be something really helpful for you, to sort of ease that burden of trying to think of ideas on what you could actually be communicating through your content. And again, competitor analysis. So for the first 5 businesses that may like to know how they're going compared to their competitors, send me your top 5 competitors and I'll run a competitor analysis for you, and then we can talk through that as well.
Wait a second. Yeah, that's great. Thanks a lot for those offers and those tips that you've got. I was going to ask you if you had any other tips, but I think gone through some of that already. And look, if you'd like to comment through any questions for Jenny at this stage as well, that'd be great. I'm sure she'd be happy to answer them. If you'd like to get in contact with Jenny, Concept Designs and Marketing, maybe Jenny can share a website as well, or comment them through, and of course I'll share them.
Connect with me on.
The last thing I want to go through is then, what opportunities do you see for businesses during this time as well?
Yeah, for sure. Sorry for interrupting there. So definitely, I was going to say, look me up on LinkedIn. Honestly, that to me, that's an absolute ripe for, I guess, really for business opportunities there in LinkedIn. That is one of the key things. I really, truly see a big opportunity for businesses at the moment. And I've had a lot of business owners come across, and that's what we've actually started. That's where I've seen the most growth in my business during this time, is actually going back to the very first thing I said, building those relationships with people. So business owners that are taking on a LinkedIn lead generation campaign, I would actually say that that's a perfect opportunity to start. Thanks, Libby. Perfect opportunity to start building a database. If you know who your target market is, then I would suggest. Oh, sorry, I'm seeing some comments coming through. It's a bit of a distraction. So anyway, back to it all. So LinkedIn, if you know who your target market is, but don't have a database, don't have up-to-date list of who they are. Let's say you were to say to me, Anthony, that you wanted to meet all the accountants within Australia. LinkedIn is the perfect opportunity to be able to do that. We can, using your profile, connect you personally with them and start to build that relationship with them. But the most important thing is that you're actually building a database around your target market, your ideal client, and then comes your content, being able to communicate them, but being able to offer value of the information that you're giving them. So I think there's a huge opportunity in LinkedIn at the moment, and really happy to talk to people about that if they're thinking that could be something that they would like for their business. Yeah.
That's really, really good. And apologies again for the delays. You know, live streaming has its challenges, and we're working through the technology. Even though we're in the technology business, it doesn't always go as planned sometimes, and especially when live. But thanks for bearing with us. Thanks for having you on the show today. If there's any other questions that want to come through, I mean, send them through for Jenny. But there's lots of good info there, and thanks for joining us. It's only our 4th episode, so we're still getting there, and there's lots more people to talk to until we run out of businesses. We'll keep going every day at 10 o'clock. So be sure to like, subscribe, and share this around to people that you know, especially if you like and find value in the types of conversations that we're having. On Monday, we'll have Ash Rayner, who we missed out earlier in the week. So we'll keep going. He's got an IT business in Oxley, Queensland. So I'm going to end it there because this feedback is annoying me. But thanks a lot for joining us again. Thanks, Jenny, for coming along and helping people out today. And we'll probably look forward to having you back in a few weeks' time as well, so we can find out some new tips and advice, and maybe delve deeper into some of those things you're talking about today without the delays. So it would be a lot better. All right,
Easy.
great.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you. See ya.
We'll probably look forward to having you back in a few weeks.